Hi, guys, and welcome back to the King and Judge podcast. I am Leroy Hodgson, and I'm here with my partner in crime and Arsenal, a connoisseur, Daniel. Daniel, what's up?
Hello, how have you been?
I'm
Yeah,
doing great. You're making me feel underdressed because of what you are wearing, but you know what?
my,
Whatever.
my 2016 2017 jersey.
Yeah. So today
Yeah.
we are here to discuss Andrea Beta. I'm just kidding. We had that discussion last week. This week we are here to discuss uh, Viktor Gyökeres, as it seems like Arsenal is getting and edging closer to a deal. It seems like we are also going to be getting him for lower than we were expecting. Daniel, just let me know what do you have to say about that? Have you changed your mind about Beta after hearing about this deal and how it's looking like it's way less than what we're expecting to spend?
Well, let me begin by saying welcome to our viewers and our listeners online, and we are happy to have this podcast, and we hope you stick with us as we discuss everything Arsenal. Yes, so I think last week I was too critical on Andrea Beta on board and what he can do. I mean, right after we finished recording and then the bombshell came
Yeah.
that we've actually agreed a deal in principle with uh, Sporting for Victor Gyökeres. And this week I was contemplating and looking at Andrea Beta's and what he's been doing so far. And I had a critical look. I realized that this is we are in a place where Arsenal is not linked with a lot of players. So all the players that we are linked with, they usually look solid and concrete. But I remember I've been in the Arsene Wenger era where we were all over the place. We were linked with tons and tons of players. You wake
Yeah.
up and then go to your transfer market or you go to news now, and then there are lots and lots of players we are being linked with. But this we've seen a criteria where we are linked to fewer players. And I mean, we are close to getting our top target for the
Yeah.
summer, although we may not get all, but I believe we are doing well.
Mm.
What
Yeah.
what 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 what? uh,
Yeah, I also think that this deal, though we were all expecting it, I was quite, let's say, doubtful for a bit because every week every week Gyökeres, but nothing seems to have been happening. And then we'll just hear, oh, we've signed Zupomendi. Oh, we've signed Kepa. Oh, we've signed what's his name, Norgard. Oh, we've signed Madueke. Yet every week we're being linked with Gyökeres, but nothing was coming out of it. Always an excuse. This is happening. That is happening. But I'm so glad that we've been able to. It looks like we're about to uh, get the signing that we wanted, a top level striker. And now, when I think about it and I look at it, it looks like he might probably be what we need, despite the fact that we're most likely chasing Isaac and Benjamin Sesko early on. With the team that is being built, it looks like a team that is bent on chaos. I like to use that word. I was on the Brew Show earlier, and I was like, "Look, this team is all about chaos, right? These signings are all about chaos. And if we add
yeah,
someone like Eze to the list as well, that's even more chaos. And I think it's going to help a player like Gyökeres, who is very good in terms of transition. And though he has to work on a number of things, especially his aerial threat, which I still find it hard to believe that he struggles with that, being 6'2", right? 6'2". Yet he's not really good at heading. I think he took 17 shots, or should I say 17 headers last season, and didn't score a single goal from them. So he's someone who
I
seems to
think
prefer with the ball. Yeah, you were coming to say something.
no, I think I saw some of his heading catalog, and he had some quite some numbers there. I don't know if
Yeah. He
I'm sure
has
maybe
scored. It's not like he hasn't scored headed goals, but I'm talking about last season. Last season, he didn't score a goal with his head. The season where he scored 50 plus goals, he didn't score a single one with his head. It was all from the legs. 17 shots. Can I call them shots? 17 shots from the head, no goals. It's incredible, right?
Tons and tons of goals. We will need him for his fox in the box
Yeah,
kind of play, and that's what he wants. He
yeah.
currently, if it was about headed goals, we have Kai Havertz there, we have Merino there, we have players who are equally up to the task. Then
Gabriel is
Gabriel,
also
who is
there.
good to corners, we've signed Christian Norgard, who is also good at heading goals. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes to the aerial threat, we may not have too much to worry about. What we are worrying about is who put the ball in the net when at critical moments, when chances are created, who is going to make that run, when Odegaard has the ball, when Saka is making plays, who is also taking responsibility. So that's what I think he's here for. And
Mm.
about the deal, last week we after right after we recorded, it was just minutes after or hours after, and then it came that he had signed
Yeah.
the agreement has been reached with
Yeah.
Sporting. So after I read this week that Sporting are a public traded entity, that means they are on the stock market. So you look at some of the deals where they've sold some of their key players, you realize that most of the time the agreement comes in the weekend. So look at Pedro Porro, look at Bruno Fernandes, they all had to sell them or announce their signing over the weekend because when they announce them during the week, the market, their stocks come crashing because most of their assets when are when are announced during the market open. So the market opens usually Sunday evening at 9 to Friday evening at 9. So that's when the markets are open. So if they announce any player within the trading week, any of their assets leaving during the trading week, their assets, people tend to sell their shares and then they lose out a lot. So Sporting, we know them as a team that usually like to announce their major assets over the weekend. So
Mm.
don't be surprised if after we post this video, you hear the three famous words from Fabrizio that here we go, then you should know that yes, that's Sporting for you. So
Mm.
something that's what I read about the deal this week. And I
Mm.
know we are all expectant, we are all expecting to see what he comes up with when he comes. But let's look at other players. Have you seen the squad going on tour
Yeah, I've seen
on
the
the
squad going
Asian?
on tour. Yeah, I've seen it. The squad is looking honestly. This like I was watching. I can't remember who it was. One YouTuber doing an analysis on Arsenal squad. He was looking more at Madueke, but he was looking at how Arsenal squad currently is and how stacked it is in terms of depth. We have like 3, 4 players who could fit in at any position right now, and it means that if anybody gets injured, we have a solution. We also have different profiles. Madueke can play on the left and keep the width instead of playing on the right to cross as an inside forward. So, like, there are so much options right now for us now. The only problem now is just making sure we get that number 9 and possibly now I'm wondering, do we really need a left winger? If we have Martinelli in this squad, with this revamped Arsenal squad, with Gyökeres in the team, is there a need to bring in a new left winger like a Rodrigo? I have to admit, Rodrigo would be excellent. I wouldn't say no to a Rodrigo.
So it
Sorry.
looks like the Rodrigo deal will be expensive.
Yeah,
And I don't see us signing Rodrigo. Because look at we're told Arsenal have 200 million to spend this summer, and it doesn't look like we are going to sign Rodrigo. And I've read recently that if we sign Eze and either one of Martinelli or Trossard depart, then we are going to sign, how do you call it, Xavi Simon,
yeah,
and he's also another chaotic guy. but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
thrives
yeah.
more at passing forward or in the left. So I believe I don't for now. I don't see Rodrigo coming. To be
But
honest,
if we could get, look, I can see Rodrigo coming if we are able to make a sale, either a Trossard or Martinelli. I can see us being able to make that deal possible if one of our left-sided players leaves in terms of Rodrigo or Trossard. And if that happens, would you be okay with a Rodrigo, or you prefer Eberiche Eze, which is looking like it might happen, or a Xavi Simons as well? We know Arteta likes his Premier League proven players, and Eze is someone who can play on the left. He can play in the left-sided. He thrives in the half channel, the left-sided half channel. So it's looking like this team. Like right now, Arsenal looks very good. Looks very good.
yeah,
Do we need? But that's the thing now. Do we really need an upgrade right now, or could we wait until next season to then think about getting probably a Bradley Bakula, who is severely underrated at PSG. He is more of a rotation option than a first teamer, but looking at his numbers, he should be starting for one of the big teams in Europe at the moment. So I don't know what you think. I think that probably uh, we've done a lot of business this window, keeping Martinelli and Trossard, seeing if with the signings we've made, we can actually on what's the word I want to use, unlock Martinelli's ability, because we know the ability he has. Last season was horrible, but we know what he is capable of, and I feel
yeah,
with these signings and with signings like Zupomendi, um, Gyökeres, and we could see Martinelli actually becoming a huge threat for Arsenal this season. I don't know what you think. What's your take on that?
I believe Martinelli will improve this season. He thrives
Mm,
when there is competition. Yeah, so I don't think Trossard has given Martinelli that much of competition that he needed because this season we've had tons and tons of last season we had tons and tons of injuries. And anytime Trossard starts, well, yeah, he shows only a few glimpses of promise, and then but when he comes on as a sub, he does better.
yeah.
So has that hasn't given Martinelli much competition as I think it should have. But when Martinelli gets real competition, I believe he's going to improve because once he knows that there is an Eberechi Eze there, there's maybe a Rodrigo there, he's going to really add up to the numbers that he's going to overwork for the team. So I believe that Martinelli needs better competition than Trossard. So either he leaves or Trossard leaves. I think it would be best we get another left winger. And I know, although they said there isn't much unless we sell one of them, but we just hope that we can do the business and then we will be stronger. But one of the things I'm also happy about today is the Ethan Waneri deal that he signed a new contract. I know it's a
Yes.
huge for us. It's
Yeah.
huge. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Honestly speaking, I was very sad when I found out that Naipan had signed for City. I was like, oh, this guy would have been the perfect option for, let's say, a replacement for like an Odegaard. He's very talented, very good at what he does. He has bags and bags of potential. But then I sat down and was like, wait, you have Nwanyeri. Do we really need Naipan? We have Nwanyeri. He's also incredibly talented. I'm just worried that unlike let's say Miles Lewis Kelly, who signed a 5 year deal. I think Wanieri is signing a 4 year deal with us now, meaning that yeah, meaning that is it with an option to extend with optional 1 year? Is it optional 1 year?
So from
So
what I'm reading, years.
It's 5 years. Oh, okay. Sorry, it
So
seems like I can't hear you.
I'm for a fifth year, but I believe it's 5 years.
Hmm. So it's a good deal. We are getting somebody very very good, and he's going to be he's going to be playing in his natural position. He did an incredible
Yeah,
job being playing back up to Saka. When Saka was gone, he was incredible. We have to admit he was
really, really,
incredible.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He was very very good. I'm looking forward to seeing him step it up again this season, especially being playing behind Odegaard. I'm looking forward to seeing Waneri play more and develop and become the player we all expect him to be. So now I'm looking at Naipan. You Man City paid a lot of money for not really a lot. Was it 12 or 18 mil for Naipan?
I think so.
So it's good. We already have our backup. No need to be sad about Naipan going to Man City unless Naipan
Not,
becomes the next Kevin De Bruyne and
not sad about the Brighton deal because we look at our academy and we used to be known for having many attacking midfielders in our
yeah,
team. That's what was known for. And I think that culture is coming back.
yeah,
We have Waneri coming up. We have, how do you call it,
Doman,
Dalman also
Dalman, yeah,
coming in. And I mean, we are building quite a few good attacking midfielders. So I believe the future is bright
yeah.
as
And
we
I
go
heard
forward.
that was it. I heard that the club also gave Per Mertesacker a huge amount of money to go looking for some of the best talents in Europe and England to bring into the academy. And I think that's gonna be. I'm looking forward to see how that pans out. I've heard a number of players are coming into the academy from various clubs. I'm hoping that they show us that they are the ones, they are going to be the future for the club. I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I'm hoping we get to see more and more players coming out of Hill End. Because look, it's not like Arsenal's academy is bad. The players we've produced are incredible. Daniel,
Talk of Hero, a Saliba regime coming called Mali Salmon.
yeah, yeah,
He's on the bus to the Asia tour. So you likely see him on in Asia in Singapore
yeah. I'm
coming
really
back.
looking forward to seeing a lot of the academy prospects during this tour. It's going to be an incredible watch. I want to see
So
the
that's
next.
what it's about.
Yeah, that's honestly what it's all about. Just getting to see these young talents as well as to see
Yeah,
how our new signings bed into the team as well.
yeah.
So our topic was supposed to be about Gyökeres, but it seems like we've diverted into
But
talking about the
well,
entire
it's not
squad.
true. We talk about everything now.
We talk about everything else now. But looking at Gyökeres, how do you see him fitting into this team? Because Arteta, Arteta strikers have a particular role to play. They hold up the ball, create space, and move into, let's say, and sort of arrive late, while the forwards, the wide forwards, create or score goals. Someone like Gyökeres doesn't look like that kind of striker. He's not the kind of striker who is able to play with his back to goal. He's somebody who wants to be running into the space with players pushing him, hitting balls through to him so that he can use his power and pace to get onto them and scoring. When you look at that, doesn't mean that Arteta will need to adjust the system, which, to be honest, he is known to be able to adjust the system to fit a current fit whatever he needs to happen. But do you think that it's the right thing to do to probably change how we play just so that we can fit in Viktor Gyökeres? Or would you prefer? And another thing is the Havertz situation. Havertz has been our starting number 9 for the last 2 seasons. Um, Now that Gyökeres comes, he probably will be on the bench unless Arteta decides that he's moving him back to that left midfield slot, which I don't think is happening because that slot is for Declan Rice. So could we see Arteta probably play a two up front, or do you think Havertz is probably going to sit on the bench?
Well, so Arteta, I know, is a genius. He
Mm,
always has different plans for different games. So I believe he, as a coach, would have sat down and assessed his team with Gyökeres in it and would have thought, okay, this guy is a runner, and I have a lot of creators in the midfield, in the wing, on the wing. So you look at the team and look at, okay, I have I brought in Martin Zubimendi so that we can also create chances in the middle. You get it? So he would want Zubimendi to create chances in the middle. And if you look at our team has been mostly reliant on our wingers for the creating of chances. And if if a team has a one-way channel, you are always found out, and you usually suffer playing against low block teams because once they know that, well, you like to create from the left, they are going to overload the left with more people attacking or defending your wingers. So if you look at Saka like this, Saka tends to take on whenever Saka gets the ball. There are about 4 or 5 players already surrounding him. So he doesn't have to, he tends to pass it back, or once in a while when he gets a 1v1, he will just dribble and then and make create a chance. But with Gyökeres coming in, we are going to have multiple creating options. So we are going to have the right wing, we are going to have the left wing, we are going to also have to what create in the middle. So I believe it's good for us because it's going to make us unpredictable. We are going to create chances anywhere on the pitch. Yeah, and you don't expect you may be thinking, okay, so this Arsenal team may have what the midfielders, they have bodyguards. So maybe a team may say, okay, let me put about 3 or 4 players on Odegaard so that he doesn't create chance for your current. But what you do is that you leave Martin Zubimendi at the back, who can play a long ball to your current. So you now have to find, you don't only find solution for Odegaard, but you have to find solution for Zubimendi.
yeah.
If Zubimendi is not well, if you're able to block Zubimendi, then Saka is going to get the free will because already you've overloaded Odegaard with 3 or 4 players. You are looking at Saka who will be free now. So it gives us variety of options. When you look at the left wing also, Martinelli can also pick the ball and then just blaze through defenders like that. So I believe there's going to be a huge opportunity for players to come out and create more chances. Because once there is a striker up top, you don't have to now work so hard. You just need to create put in a beautiful pass and then there'll be someone was attacking it. Unlike before where the striker had to hold the ball and then give it back to the winger attacking it. But this time you have to just pass it, give a true pass to the striker and then what? Relax and watch the striker do his thing. So I believe it's going to help. And the one about Kai Havertz, I believe Kai Havertz, when Gyökeres arrives, will be used more as a second striker,
Mm,
which is going to play either behind him or he'll be on the bench at the start of the match. I believe he'll start always from the bench because when you have a striker and you have your plan set, you may want to switch things a bit. So if but in the beginning of the season, I'm seeing Kai Havertz starting ahead of Gyökeres until Gyökeres comes in and storms his authority. Yeah, I see Havertz starting over Gyökeres. And then
mm,
as the season progresses, when Gyökeres has taken shape and he's scoring, banging in goals, that's where you are going to see Kai Havertz start from the bench and then maybe in the second half he comes in as a second striker where he was playing at Bayer Leverkusen, and I think sometimes at Chelsea, he was playing that second striker role. So he will provide more of that aerial threat for us. He will do more of the hold up play, while Gyökeres makes most of the run. So I believe going into the season, you will see Kai Havertz start more ahead of Gyökeres from the beginning. But then, if Gyökeres is able to take his place in the team, then that's where you see Gyökeres starting over Kai Havertz. But I don't see the two of them starting most of the time because it will really unbalance our team.
Yeah. By the way, what have you made of Kai Havertz's physical transformation over in the off season? Charlie, he has bulked up.
But yeah, yeah, yeah.
It feels like,
I think it's good
mhm,
for us.
yeah, it is.
It's good for the because he he bulking up makes him more of a physical threat now. But he used to be Arsenal. He when he was a bit lean, he wasn't able to hold that play. He was pushed over here and there. But now I believe he's going to help his hold up play more. It's going to help his pace and his power. He's going to be stronger when he's going to scare defenders. I think
Yeah,
is going to scare a lot of defenders. So I mean, it's good for us. It will be good. But I'm yet to see how he utilizes it. But let's hope it works out well for us because sometimes players buck up and they become slow and they lose some of their ability because you you gain somewhere, you lose somewhere. So we hope he doesn't lose anywhere, but
yeah,
rather he's gained. So that's what
yeah.
I'm,
I agree.
I'm
I agree. But Charlie, it seems like it's an exciting time to be an Arsenal fan. The signings have come in, the players have come in. So looking at the future, if should Gyökeres come in, do you think we need to make another signing?
yes, if Gyökeres comes in, I believe our left wing position needs a strong competition. We need to make that side very competitive for our players there. And, and AJ coming in or a Rodrigo coming in will make the players stand up. They'll work hard. They'll compete. Once when a team is competing internally, it produces higher numbers. You look at the times of Salah and Mane. They although they were teammates, but they were competing against each other who produces more numbers. And you look at their body language on the pitch, you know that these two players are competing against each other. Although Mane will work for Salah, Salah hardly passes to him, but you know they were what competing for numbers because whoever had the numbers was more respected. And at the end, Liverpool fans respected Salah over Mane. So I believe internal competition helps the team, and you need our wingers to also compete against each other. They should have targets. So their targets should also they should have targets against each other that whoever gets this numbers has to do this. Like they should win the fans over. They shouldn't just think that they can just play and then they will be loud, but they should win the fans over with their numbers. That's what I believe we should look at. So I mean we need to get our left wing sorted. And
Yeah,
now I know now Saka will play 70 minutes and then hand over some 20 minutes to Noni Madueke or Ethan Waneri. So, I mean, he will be rested, he's going to be fresher, he's going to fire more. So, but this season, I'm hoping Saka makes those Ballon d'Or numbers and
yeah.
I mean, they give him the respect he deserves because the guy is actually good, very
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. I feel like this season is going to be very, very good for Saka because he wouldn't be overburdened with so much to do, playing the entire
Yeah,
90 every week in, week out, and with Champions League football as well, playing probably 2 to 3 games. every week. It's going to be good to have him get that rest so that he can recuperate, so that he can be well rested for the next game. And yeah, what about the links to
But
someone
you
to a sorry, you were saying?
you making more chances for the team because now there are other channels that we are also creating chances
Yes,
for. There will be
yes.
a left winger center. So I mean it will be a good season. There won't be a lot of I believe there won't be a lot of people teams will not overload the side of the wings because they know that if you overload his side you are going to get your other side also was exposed
Yeah.
where chances are going to be created. So I believe this season is going to be getting more 1v1s and you know him on 1v1. He will easily take you out and then score. So it's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. It's a good time to see Saka play.
So, in your opinion, where do you think? Okay, no, I think that's too premature. Asking about where you think we probably will finish, I think that's premature. Let's get to the end of the transfer window, and then or the start of this, the getting to the start of the Premier League, then we can probably discuss that. Anyways, I would say that honestly speaking, like you said, this is going to be a very interesting. This is going to be a very interesting season for Arsenal. They've really gone out and gotten Arteta the reinforcement he needs. They've gotten him a number 9 striker, and hopefully we can also get a Rodrigo or Eze or Xavi Simons, whoever it is, for the left side as well, depending on who we sell. But after all these signings, right? What would be your expectation? Do you think that the Premier League title is the minimum we should ask for, or you think looking at all the other sides like Liverpool signing vets, Jeremy Frimpong, Kekets from Bournemouth, the left back, looking to sign Isaac or Etikite, and looking at Manchester City and the signings they've made, do you think that the minimum we as Arsenal fans should be looking at is is the title?
I mean we've been close all this while. So
Yeah.
why not? We are almost there. And I believe last season, if it weren't for Indy, we would have been there. We would have won it ahead of Liverpool because last season's Liverpool was one of the terrible league champions I've ever seen. They, and I mean, Arsenal, we always, even though we are good, but we have to also hope. We have to really hope that referee decision don't hurt us in a game. That we can be good. See, we've been good. The last 3 seasons we've been good. But if you look at the referee decisions that have gone against us, we would have lost about 7 or 10 points from each season from referee decisions. So I believe if referee decision also come to play, there are a lot of things coming to play. There are injuries, there are referee decisions that also affect us. But we just hope that referees in the Premier League will improve their their officiating. And once officiating improves, I mean, what is stopping us? We've been there, we've been so close, and once we are able to get fair games, we are injury free. You definitely win a lot. I believe Premier League, we are not far from it. The Champions League, we showed last season that if we had the right players, we would have also been there. uh, We would have been there because the team we played in semi-finals who went on to win the Champions League, we dominated them. But at the end of the day, it was what the finishing that counted. So I mean, we are close. We are close to winning a treble. If you ask me, we are close to winning a treble. And I'll say I'll be ambitious and say that we should the least we should have this season should be a treble.
That's very confident. Anyways, guys, let us know your take. What should be the minimum expectation for Arsenal this season? Looking at how the Arteta has been back in the window, especially if and when. Let me say if and when, because sometimes last minute things can change situations. But if and when Gyökeres signs, or if Arsenal also signs a left winger, where exactly? What exactly should be the minimum requirement for Arteta this season? Should it be a title? Should it be the Premier League title? And should it be probably a Champions League final or the Champions League itself? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the second episode of the King and Judge podcast. I'm so glad you joined us. Any last words, Danny, before we go?
Well, I mean, I enjoy having to talk about us now.
Yeah.
And I mean, our followers should also suggest people they would want to see on the podcast, and we'll be glad to invite them on. And even you, our follower, if you give us a shout, we're glad to have you on to discuss us now in the coming weeks. And I'm looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to what this team can do. And at the end of the season, we are going to be the best.
Same here. Same
What
here.
are your thoughts?
Honestly speaking, I am looking forward to the season, especially after hearing about the Gyökeres deal. I am looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to more signings. Hopefully, we get Rodrigo, because if we get him, to me, that's it. Title one, because our defense is one of the best in the league. If we add those two forwards to bring us the goals that we need, that's it. I feel like we are one of the favorites for the Premier League title, and probably one of the favorites for the Champions League as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Guys, thanks for joining us today. I look forward to hearing your comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. This has been the King and Judge podcast, and we are out.